Ladies, it's time to wake up. We live in a world that will either shape us or break us, and the choice is ours. Too many women today have been conditioned to be passive, to be overly accommodating, and to avoid challenges. But if you want to succeed, if you want to command respect, if you want to live life on your own terms, you must stop being soft. Strength is not just physical, it's mental, emotional, and spiritual. Strength is not something you are simply born with. It is something you choose every single day. The way you wake up, the way you handle challenges, and the way you push through difficulties are all choices. Many people believe that strength is a personality trait, but in reality, it is a mindset. You must decide whether you will face life with resilience or let it defeat you. No one else can make this decision for you. A strong woman does not wait for the perfect circumstances to show her strength, she builds it through action. Life will test you in ways you never imagined, but your response is what defines you. Will you shrink in fear or will you rise? The answer to that question determines your future. Strength does not mean you won't have moments of doubt or weakness. It means you refuse to let those moments define you. Too often, women are conditioned to believe that they must be agreeable, quiet, and accommodating to be accepted. But real strength means standing firm in who you are, regardless of who disapproves. It means recognizing your worth, owning your voice, and refusing to let anyone diminish your power. Strength is not about being aggressive or loud, it's about being unwavering in your values and confidence. Choosing strength means rejecting victimhood. Life will not always be fair, and hardships are inevitable. But instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" a strong woman asks, "What can I learn from this?" Challenges are not meant to break you, they are meant to build you. The sooner you accept this, the sooner you will start seeing obstacles as opportunities for growth rather than setbacks. Strength is also found in discipline. You cannot expect to be mentally or emotionally strong if you lack self-control. A woman who makes excuses for her bad habits, procrastinates on her goals, or allows her emotions to control her is choosing weakness. Strength is waking up early to work on yourself, saying no to things that do not serve your future, and staying committed even when motivation fades. A strong woman does not rely on others for validation. She does not need someone to tell her she is beautiful, smart, or capable to believe it. She affirms herself. She builds herself up from within. The world will not always be kind, and if you rely on external validation to feel strong, you will be weak the moment it is taken away. Strength is about knowing your value without needing constant reassurance. Mental toughness is just as important as physical strength. The mind controls everything. If you allow negative thoughts, self-doubt, and fear to dominate your thinking, you will act accordingly. A strong woman trains her mind just like she would train her body. She challenges her own limiting beliefs, rewires her thinking, and speaks to herself with power and positivity. Strength also comes from making hard choices. It's easy to stay in your comfort zone, avoid difficult conversations, and settle for less than you deserve. But true strength is in making the tough decisions, walking away from toxic relationships, taking risks for your dreams, and standing alone if necessary. Strength is not about what is easy, it is about what is right. At the end of the day, strength is a commitment. It is not something you develop overnight, and it is not something that remains without effort. It must be built, maintained, and reinforced daily. If you want to be strong, you must choose it every morning, every challenge, and every moment when life tries to knock you down. One of the biggest traps a woman can fall into is constantly seeking validation from others. From childhood, many of us are conditioned to believe that our worth is tied to how others see us, whether it's our appearance, our behavior, or our accomplishments. But true confidence and strength come from within, not from the opinions of others. If you spend your life waiting for approval, you will always be at the mercy of someone else's judgment. Seeking validation is exhausting because it means you are never truly free. You base your decisions on what will make others happy instead of what aligns with your goals and values. You hesitate to speak your mind out of fear that someone might not agree with you. You change your appearance, your personality, and even your dreams to fit someone else's expectations. This is not living, it's performing. And performances are temporary, but your true self is permanent. The problem with constantly seeking approval is that you give others the power to dictate your worth. What happens when the people whose approval you crave disappear? What happens when their opinions shift? If your confidence is built on the shaky foundation of external validation, it will crumble the moment you don't get the praise or attention you're used to. A strong woman does not allow the opinions of others to control her self-worth. It's important to understand that no matter what you do, someone will always have something to say. If you play small, people will criticize you for lacking ambition. If you aim high, people will say you are too aggressive or unrealistic. If you express your opinions, you'll be labeled too outspoken. If you remain silent, people will assume you are weak. The truth is, you cannot win by trying to please everyone, so stop trying. Instead of seeking validation, seek self-acceptance. Learn to approve of yourself first. When you set goals, do it because they genuinely matter to you, not because they will impress others. When you take care of your body, do it for your health and strength, not for social media likes. When you make decisions, trust your instincts instead of waiting for someone else to give you permission. A woman who stops seeking validation becomes incredibly powerful. She no longer hesitates to take up space, to express her opinions, or to make bold choices. She does not need everyone to like her, because she understands that being respected is more important than being liked. She does not lower her standards just to fit in. She stands tall in who she is without apology. The people who truly matter in your life will respect you more when you stop being dependent on their approval. People admire confidence. They admire those who walk their own path without constantly asking, "Is this okay?" When you stop needing validation, you gain control over your own life. You begin to attract people who respect your independence rather than those who take advantage of your need for approval. Breaking free from the need for validation requires practice. Start small, make decisions without asking for input. Wear what makes you feel good without worrying about trends, and speak your mind without fearing judgment. Each time you act based on your own convictions rather than external approval, you become stronger. Over time, you will realize that the only validation you ever needed was your own. Seeking validation is a habit, and like any habit, it can be broken. The key is to replace it with self-trust. Remind yourself daily that you are enough, that your choices matter, and that you do not need outside approval to be valuable. The moment you internalize this truth, you step into your real power, unshaken, unstoppable, and free. Many women are taught from a young age to be polite, agreeable, and accommodating. We are told to smile, to be pleasant, and to avoid conflict. While kindness is important, it should never come at the cost of your self-respect. Too many women go through life suppressing their true thoughts and feelings just to keep the peace or to be liked. But a strong woman knows that a smile alone is not enough. She needs a backbone to stand tall when it matters. Having a backbone means having the courage to stand up for yourself, even when it's uncomfortable. It means not backing down just because someone else disapproves of your choices. Life will present situations where you have to decide whether to let others walk over you or to assert yourself. If you always choose the path of least resistance, you will find yourself being taken advantage of, disrespected, and overlooked. People respect those who respect themselves. If you constantly put others' needs ahead of your own, never say no, and avoid difficult conversations, you are teaching people that your feelings and boundaries don't matter. And if you don't respect your own boundaries, why would anyone else? Strength comes from setting clear limits and enforcing them. You can be kind without being a pushover, and you can be firm without being rude. Many women fear confrontation, but avoiding it only makes things worse. Instead of speaking up when they are mistreated, they bottle up their frustrations and hope that people will eventually change. But the world doesn't work that way. If you do not demand respect, you will not get it. Standing up for yourself is not about being aggressive, it's about valuing yourself enough to say, "This is not acceptable." Building a backbone also means standing by your beliefs, even when they are unpopular. Society will pressure you to conform, to fit in, and to silence yourself when your opinions make others uncomfortable. But if you constantly adjust who you are to please people, you will lose your sense of self. A strong woman does not compromise her values for the sake of approval. She stands firm in what she believes, even if she has to stand alone. Having a backbone also means making decisions with confidence. Indecisiveness comes from fear of making the wrong choice, fear of upsetting others, or fear of judgment. But a woman with a backbone trusts herself. She weighs her options, makes a decision, and stands by it without constantly seeking reassurance. Strength comes from taking responsibility for your choices instead of second-guessing yourself at every turn. Another crucial part of having a backbone is refusing to tolerate disrespect. Too often, women are conditioned to laugh off rude comments, to stay silent when someone crosses a line, or to accept mistreatment because they don't want to cause a scene. But allowing disrespect only invites more of it. If someone speaks to you in a demeaning way, correct them. If someone disregards your boundaries, reinforce them. If someone treats you poorly, walk away without looking back. Strength also comes from handling criticism without crumbling. Not everyone will like you, and that's okay. A strong woman understands that criticism is a part of life. Instead of letting it destroy her confidence, she filters out what is useful and discards what is meant to tear her down. She does not let the opinions of others dictate her self-worth. She knows who she is, and no amount of negativity can shake that foundation. Building a backbone is a process, and it requires practice. Start by asserting yourself in small ways. Say no when you mean it. Express your opinions without fear, and hold your ground when necessary. The more you stand up for yourself, the stronger you become. And once you develop the courage to own your voice, your space, and your worth, you will never let anyone take it from you again. Life is unpredictable, and challenges are inevitable. At some point, you will face disappointment, betrayal, failure, and loss. The difference between a weak woman and a strong one is how she responds to these moments. Emotional resilience is the ability to recover quickly from difficulties, to keep moving forward despite hardships, and to remain unshaken by temporary setbacks. If you want to be strong, you must train yourself to be emotionally unbreakable. Too many women allow their emotions to control them. They react impulsively, break down over minor setbacks, and let negative emotions dictate their actions. While emotions are a natural part of life, they should never be the driving force behind your decisions. A strong woman acknowledges her feelings but does not let them consume her. She understands that emotions are temporary, and she chooses logic and self-control over emotional outbursts. One of the key elements of emotional resilience is learning to detach from the things you cannot control. Many women waste energy worrying about what others think, dwelling on the past, or fearing the future. But this only drains you mentally and emotionally. Instead, focus on what you can control: your mindset, your actions, and your reactions. Strength comes from accepting that not everything will go your way, but you can always choose how you respond. Resilient women do not allow failure to define them. Everyone experiences failure at some point, but what separates the strong from the weak is their response. Weak women see failure as a reason to quit, while strong women see it as a lesson. Instead of breaking down when things go wrong, learn to analyze the situation, take responsibility, and adapt. Every setback is an opportunity for growth if you have the right mindset. Another crucial aspect of emotional resilience is not allowing negative people to drain you. Some people will try to manipulate you, insult you, or bring you down. If you let their words and actions affect your peace of mind, you are giving them power over you. A strong woman does not let toxic people control her emotions. She knows how to walk away, how to protect her energy, and how to remain calm in the face of negativity. Building emotional resilience also requires mastering self-talk. The way you speak to yourself determines how you handle adversity. If your inner dialogue is filled with doubt, self-pity, and negativity, you will crumble under pressure. But if you train yourself to think with confidence, self-belief, and determination, nothing can break you. A strong woman replaces thoughts like "I can't do this" with "I will figure this out." It is also important to learn how to process emotions in a healthy way. Being resilient does not mean suppressing your feelings or pretending to be unaffected. It means acknowledging your emotions, understanding them, and then moving forward. If something upsets you, allow yourself to feel it, but don't stay in that emotional state forever. Give yourself time to heal, then get back up and keep going. Resilient women take responsibility for their emotions instead of blaming others for how they feel. They do not allow external circumstances to dictate their happiness. They build an unshakable mindset that allows them to remain stable even in difficult situations. Instead of relying on others for emotional stability, they develop inner strength that keeps them grounded no matter what life throws at them. Emotional resilience is not something you are born with, it is something you build through experience and mindset training. The more you face challenges and overcome them, the stronger you become. Life will not always be easy, but if you develop the ability to stay calm, focused, and confident no matter what, you will become unstoppable. One of the biggest signs of strength is taking full responsibility for your life. Weak women blame others for their problems, make excuses, and wait for someone to come and fix their situation. But strong women know that no one is coming to save them. They understand that their happiness, success, and growth depend entirely on their own choices and actions. If you want to be powerful, you must stop pointing fingers and start taking control. Accountability means accepting that where you are in life is a direct result of the decisions you have made. It's easy to blame circumstances, other people, or even bad luck, but in the end, your life is in your hands. The moment you stop making excuses and start owning your actions, you unlock the ability to change your situation. A strong woman never plays the victim, she plays the leader. Many women stay stuck in bad relationships, unfulfilling jobs, or unhealthy habits because they refuse to acknowledge their role in the situation. They convince themselves that they have no control, that they are trapped, or that things will magically change one day. But nothing changes until you take responsibility. If you are unhappy, do something about it. If you made a mistake, own up to it and correct it. Taking accountability gives you the power to improve your life. Excuses are the enemy of progress. If you constantly tell yourself that you're too tired, too busy, too inexperienced, or too unlucky, you are choosing weakness. A strong woman doesn't allow excuses to hold her back. She finds solutions instead of reasons why something can't be done. She takes action even when it's uncomfortable, because she knows that nothing great is achieved by waiting for perfect conditions. Taking accountability also means recognizing that you are responsible for your emotions and reactions. You cannot control how others behave, but you can control how you respond. If someone disrespects you, you have the power to walk away. If you are feeling insecure, you have the ability to work on yourself. Blaming others for your feelings only keeps you weak. A strong woman owns her emotions and chooses how she lets them affect her. Another aspect of accountability is being honest with yourself. It's easy to ignore the truth when it's inconvenient, but growth comes from self-awareness. Are you putting in the effort required to achieve your goals? Are you truly taking care of your physical and mental health? Are you making decisions that align with your values? A strong woman doesn't lie to herself, she faces reality and makes necessary changes. Taking responsibility also applies to relationships. If you allow toxic people to stay in your life, that is your choice. If you keep tolerating disrespect, that is on you. A strong woman does not waste time blaming others for how they treat her. She sets boundaries, demands respect, and removes anyone who does not align with her standards. She understands that she teaches people how to treat her by what she allows. A woman who takes accountability never waits for motivation, she creates it. She does not rely on others to push her forward, she disciplines herself. She sets goals, makes plans, and follows through with action. She does not expect success to be handed to her, she works for it, knowing that the effort she puts in today will determine her future. At the core of accountability is the understanding that you are in control of your own destiny. You may not have power over everything that happens to you, but you always have power over how you react and what you do next. The moment you fully embrace this truth, you will stop waiting, stop complaining, and start taking bold steps toward the life you truly want. Many women have been conditioned to believe that conflict is something to be avoided at all costs. They are taught that being agreeable, keeping the peace, and avoiding confrontation makes them more likable. But the truth is, avoiding conflict often leads to resentment, frustration, and a loss of self-respect. A strong woman understands that conflict is a natural part of life and that learning to handle it with confidence is essential for growth and self-protection. Fear of conflict often stems from a desire to be liked. Many women worry that standing up for themselves will make them seem rude, difficult, or unkind. But trying to please everyone only leads to exhaustion and disappointment. No matter how agreeable you try to be, there will always be people who disagree with you, misunderstand you, or simply don't like you. Instead of fearing conflict, embrace it as an opportunity to assert yourself and establish boundaries. Avoiding conflict does not make problems disappear, it only allows them to grow. When you fail to address issues head-on, they tend to resurface in worse ways later. Whether it's a friend who constantly takes advantage of your kindness, a boss who undervalues your contributions, or a partner who disrespects your boundaries, staying silent does not protect you, it weakens you. A strong woman understands that difficult conversations are necessary to maintain respect and fairness in relationships. Standing up for yourself does not mean being aggressive or disrespectful. It means speaking with clarity, confidence, and conviction. It means expressing your needs and expectations without hesitation. When you avoid conflict, you give others the power to decide how you are treated. But when you face conflict directly, you reclaim that power and ensure that your voice is heard. Many women avoid conflict because they fear emotional reactions, both their own and others. They worry about upsetting people or being labeled as confrontational. However, emotional reactions are temporary, while unresolved issues can cause long-term damage. A strong woman understands that it is better to have a moment of discomfort than a lifetime of regret. She does not let fear of emotion stop her from addressing what needs to be addressed. Being unafraid of conflict does not mean seeking arguments or creating drama. It means refusing to tolerate mistreatment, dishonesty, or disrespect. It means knowing when to speak up and when to walk away. Weak women allow fear to silence them, but strong women use their voices with purpose. They do not allow guilt or anxiety to stop them from advocating for themselves. Another important aspect of handling conflict is learning how to stay composed. A strong woman does not let anger or frustration control her reactions. Instead, she remains calm, focused, and firm. She does not allow others to manipulate her emotions or push her into losing control. Mastering your emotions during conflict gives you the upper hand and shows others that you are not easily intimidated. The ability to handle conflict also strengthens your leadership skills. In both personal and professional settings, those who can navigate disagreements with confidence earn respect. People admire those who stand their ground and maintain their integrity, even in difficult situations. A woman who can handle conflict without fear becomes someone others look up to, a leader who commands respect and influence. At its core, overcoming fear of conflict is about valuing yourself enough to demand respect. It is about realizing that your thoughts, feelings, and needs matter just as much as anyone else's. Strength is not about avoiding difficult situations. It is about facing them with courage, intelligence, and unwavering self-respect. A strong woman does not rely on others for financial stability. She creates it for herself. Money is not just about wealth, it is about freedom, independence, and security. Too many women remain in toxic relationships, unfulfilling jobs, or stressful situations simply because they do not have the financial means to walk away. If you want to be truly strong, you must take control of your finances and build a future where you are never at the mercy of anyone else. Financial mastery starts with knowledge. If you do not understand how money works, you will always struggle to manage it. Take the time to educate yourself on budgeting, saving, investing, and financial planning. Many women avoid learning about money because they find it intimidating or believe it is a man's responsibility. But ignorance is not an excuse. The more you understand your finances, the more empowered you become. Budgeting is the foundation of financial control. A weak woman spends money carelessly, living paycheck to paycheck without a plan. A strong woman, on the other hand, knows exactly where her money is going. She sets a budget, tracks her expenses, and makes sure she is spending within her means. She does not waste money on things that do not add value to her life, and she prioritizes her financial future over temporary pleasures. Saving money is not optional, it is necessary. Life is unpredictable and emergencies can happen at any time. A strong woman has an emergency fund that protects her from unexpected setbacks, whether it is a medical bill, job loss, or sudden expense. Having savings gives you peace of mind and ensures that you never have to depend on anyone else to bail you out of financial trouble. Beyond saving, a strong woman learns how to invest. Letting money sit in a bank account will not build wealth. Investing is the key to long-term financial security. Whether it's stocks, real estate, or business ventures, putting your money to work allows you to grow your financial resources over time. The earlier you start investing, the more you set yourself up for financial independence. Debt is a major trap that keeps women financially weak. Credit card debt, unnecessary loans, and reckless spending create a cycle of financial dependence. A strong woman avoids debt whenever possible and pays off any existing debts as quickly as she can. She understands that true freedom comes from owning her finances, not owing money to creditors. She makes smart financial decisions that keep her in control rather than at the mercy of lenders. Multiple streams of income provide security. Relying on a single paycheck is risky, especially in an unpredictable economy. A strong woman looks for ways to diversify her income, whether through side businesses, freelance work, investments, or passive income opportunities. The more sources of income you have, the less vulnerable you are to financial instability. Mastering finances is also about setting long-term goals. A weak woman spends money without thinking about the future, but a strong woman plans ahead. She sets financial goals for herself, whether it's buying a home, starting a business, retiring early, or traveling the world. She works toward these goals with discipline, making sacrifices today to build the life she wants tomorrow. Ultimately, financial mastery is about independence. Money should never be the reason you stay in an unhappy relationship, tolerate mistreatment, or settle for less than you deserve. When you are financially strong, you have the power to make choices based on what is best for you, not based on fear or dependency. A woman who controls her finances controls her future. And that is one of the greatest strengths she can have. Perfection is an illusion, and chasing it is one of the biggest ways women hold themselves back. Many women hesitate to take action because they fear failure, criticism, or making mistakes. But a strong woman understands that life is about growth, not perfection. Instead of trying to be flawless, she focuses on becoming better, stronger, and wiser with each experience. Growth comes from taking risks, learning from mistakes, and constantly evolving. Perfectionism often leads to paralysis. Women who are obsessed with getting everything just right before they take action often end up doing nothing at all. They wait for the perfect time, the perfect plan, or the perfect opportunity, but none of those things exist. A strong woman does not wait, she moves forward, even when things are not perfect. She understands that progress is more important than perfection. Failure is part of growth, and avoiding failure means avoiding progress. Too many women let the fear of failing stop them from trying new things, taking on challenges, or stepping outside their comfort zones. But the most successful and powerful women in the world are the ones who have failed the most. They use their failures as lessons, not excuses. A strong woman understands that every setback is an opportunity to learn and improve. Self-criticism is another trap that perfectionists fall into. Women often judge themselves harshly, comparing their journey to others and feeling like they are not good enough. But strength comes from self-acceptance. A strong woman understands that she is a work in progress, and that is perfectly okay. She focuses on how far she has come instead of constantly beating herself up for not being where she wants to be yet. One of the most powerful mindset shifts a woman can make is embracing imperfection. When you stop fearing mistakes and start seeing them as necessary steps towards success, you free yourself from anxiety and self-doubt. Growth happens when you challenge yourself, push past discomfort, and keep going despite obstacles. A strong woman welcomes challenges because she knows they will shape her into a better version of herself. Growth requires continuous learning. A woman who is focused on progress never stops seeking knowledge, skills, and self-improvement. She reads, studies, and surrounds herself with people who inspire her to be better. She does not waste time trying to appear perfect. She invests her time in becoming more capable, more resilient, and more intelligent. A strong woman is always evolving, always improving. A perfectionist fears judgment, while a growth-focused woman seeks feedback. Instead of avoiding criticism, she welcomes constructive input because she knows it will help her improve. She does not take it personally, she takes it as guidance. Weak women let criticism break them. Strong women use it as fuel to sharpen their skills and refine their approach. Focusing on growth also means embracing the journey, not just the destination. Too many women believe that happiness comes from achieving a certain goal, whether it's a dream job, a certain body type, or a particular relationship status. But true strength comes from finding joy in the process. A strong woman understands that every step forward, every lesson learned, and every bit of progress is worth celebrating. Ultimately, a woman who prioritizes growth over perfection becomes unstoppable. She is not held back by fear, self-doubt, or the need for approval. She is constantly learning, adapting, and striving to be the best version of herself, not because she wants to be perfect, but because she is committed to her own evolution. Her strength lies in her ability to embrace imperfection and use it as a stepping stone to greatness. A strong woman knows that setting boundaries is not selfish, it is necessary. Boundaries define how you allow others to treat you and determine the level of respect you command in your personal and professional life. Without boundaries, you will constantly find yourself feeling drained, disrespected, and taken advantage of. If you want to be strong, you must decide what you will and will not tolerate, and you must enforce those limits with confidence. Many women struggle with setting boundaries because they fear rejection or conflict. They worry that saying no will make them seem rude, difficult, or unkind. But the truth is, people who genuinely respect you will also respect your boundaries. Those who get upset when you assert yourself are usually the ones who benefit from your lack of limits. A strong woman understands that pleasing everyone is impossible, and she prioritizes her self-respect over approval from others. Setting boundaries starts with knowing your worth. When you value yourself, you do not allow people to manipulate, control, or mistreat you. Whether it is in friendships, relationships, family, or work, you have the right to decide what behavior is acceptable. If something makes you uncomfortable, drains your energy, or disrespects your values, you must speak up and set a clear limit. Weak women stay silent and tolerate mistreatment, but strong women stand firm and demand respect. One of the most important boundaries a woman can set is learning to say no without guilt. Many women feel obligated to say yes to things they do not want to do, whether it is taking on extra responsibilities, attending events they do not enjoy, or allowing people to cross their personal limits. But every time you say yes to something that drains you, you are saying no to your own well-being. A strong woman understands that no is a complete sentence and does not need an explanation. Boundaries must be consistent. It is not enough to set a boundary once and then allow people to cross it repeatedly. If you tell someone that you will not tolerate certain behavior, but then let them continue without consequences, you are teaching them that your boundaries do not matter. Enforcing boundaries means standing by them even when it is uncomfortable. A strong woman does not allow people to walk over her just because it is easier to avoid confrontation. Emotional boundaries are just as important as physical ones. Protecting your peace means refusing to let toxic people drain your energy. This includes those who constantly bring negativity, manipulate your emotions, or try to control your decisions. A strong woman does not engage in unnecessary drama or allow others to guilt-trip her into tolerating toxic behavior. She surrounds herself with people who uplift her, not those who bring her down. Boundaries are also essential in romantic relationships. A weak woman tolerates disrespect, dishonesty, or emotional neglect because she fears losing someone. A strong woman, however, makes it clear what she will not accept. She does not beg for love, chase after someone who mistreats her, or lower her standards just to keep a relationship. She understands that enforcing boundaries means choosing self-respect over temporary attachment. Professional boundaries are just as crucial. Many women allow themselves to be overworked, underpaid, or disrespected in the workplace because they are afraid to speak up. A strong woman asserts herself by demanding fair treatment, refusing to be taken advantage of, and standing up for her value. She does not allow anyone, bosses, co-workers, or clients to exploit her time and energy. At the core of setting and enforcing boundaries is self-respect. A woman who values herself does not let others dictate how she should live, feel, or act. She does not allow guilt, fear, or pressure to make her compromise her standards. Boundaries are not about controlling others, they are about controlling yourself and making it clear that you will not accept anything less than what you deserve. A strong woman never stays stagnant. She understands that growth is a lifelong journey, and that the only way to reach her highest potential is to keep pushing forward, no matter what challenges come her way. Life will throw obstacles, disappointments, and setbacks at you, but strength is built in how you respond to them. Weak women make excuses and let difficulties hold them back. Strong women use those struggles as motivation to become even better. Elevating yourself starts with a mindset of continuous improvement. You cannot become the best version of yourself if you settle for mediocrity. Many women get comfortable with where they are and stop striving for more, either because they fear failure or because they do not believe they are capable of achieving greater things. But a strong woman never stops learning, growing, or evolving. She is always looking for ways to improve her skills, expand her knowledge, and refine her mindset. One of the biggest reasons people stop elevating is because they listen to the wrong voices. Negative people, unsupportive friends, and even their own self-doubt can hold them back. A strong woman knows that if she wants to rise higher, she must surround herself with people who inspire and challenge her. She does not waste time with those who discourage her, belittle her goals, or try to keep her small. She chooses to be around winners, people who push her to be better. Success is not about luck, it is about discipline. A strong woman knows that consistency is the key to long-term growth. She does not wait for motivation to strike, she creates her own motivation through action. Even when she does not feel like it, she keeps moving forward. She sets goals, makes plans, and follows through, no matter how difficult it gets. She understands that small, daily efforts add up to big results over time. Challenges and failures are inevitable, but they should never be a reason to stop. Too many women give up at the first sign of difficulty, thinking that setbacks mean they are not meant to succeed. But a strong woman views obstacles as lessons. When she fails, she does not dwell on it or let it define her. She analyzes what went wrong, learns from it, and comes back stronger. Every setback is an opportunity for a comeback. Elevating yourself also means stepping out of your comfort zone. Growth does not happen in places of safety and routine. It happens when you challenge yourself to do things that scare you. A strong woman takes risks, whether it is starting a new career, ending a toxic relationship, or pursuing a difficult goal. She does not let fear keep her in the same place. She knows that the greatest rewards come from pushing past her limits. Self-investment is a priority for a woman who wants to keep elevating. She does not hesitate to invest in books, courses, coaching, or experiences that help her grow. She understands that her mind is her greatest asset, and she makes sure to nourish it with knowledge and inspiration. She does not spend all her time on entertainment and distractions. She dedicates time to personal development and self-improvement. Another key to elevation is refusing to settle. A strong woman does not accept less than she deserves in any area of life. She does not stay in places, relationships, or situations that no longer serve her. She does not let society's expectations or other people's opinions dictate her choices. She knows her worth, and she demands a life that reflects it. She is always reaching for something greater because she knows she is capable of more. At the heart of continuous elevation is resilience. No matter how many times life knocks her down, a strong woman gets back up. She refuses to be defeated by circumstances, negativity, or self-doubt. She keeps elevating, keeps growing, and keeps pushing forward because she knows that the only limits that exist are the ones she refuses to break. Becoming a strong woman is not about being perfect, fearless, or unshakable at all times. It is about choosing to rise no matter what. It is about refusing to settle for less than you deserve, standing firm in your boundaries, and committing to your growth every single day. Strength is not something you are born with, it is something you build through action, resilience, and self-respect. You do not have to wait for the right time, the right circumstances, or anyone else's approval to step into your power. The only permission you need is your own. Stop playing small, stop making excuses, and stop being afraid of discomfort. Growth is not easy, but neither is living a life where you constantly feel unheard, unfulfilled, and underestimated. You owe it to yourself to be bold, to be unshakable, and to take control of your life. The world does not give power to those who hesitate, it rewards those who demand it. So stand up, speak up, and take up space. You are capable, you are worthy, and you are stronger than you think. Now go and prove it.